Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at remingtonlincoln.com. remingtonlincoln.com.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, maybe I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez Clary.
C is for chunk.
Brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. We're back. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Sutter Heyman text line. This is the happy hour officially now. It's 2:08 p.m., so we have officially went into me and Rico's show. Rico, what's up?
Hello. I'm just amazed by this right now. Like you said, this is the happy hour brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting. I'm gonna bring in the show. I'll take us out. I'll do all that stuff. I'm just gonna let Nick rant because he is in a mood to rant. He's feeling himself. He got his new glove today.
Yeah,
he's extremely excited about that. I don't know what happened or who did what, but he started talking about umpires went into bats. Started talking about uneducated parents buying $500 bats for their kids, and it's completely unnecessary. And I'm learning so much right now. You know, I got two young kids. Hopefully, if everything goes right and they enjoy sports, they'll be playing baseball and softball. I'm not going to say, going to college, whatever, doing that, but hopefully they play a little bit because I like watching baseball. I like watching softball. So we'll get into that. If you guys have any thoughts, any questions for Nick, Mr. Baseball Expert over here, hit us up. Not baseball expert, but he's a baseball expert. I don't care. I'm going to say it. Starter Heyman text line, Honda of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. Tell your friends, tell your parent friends, tell everybody that you know to get in here. This is free knowledge right now. You don't have to go anywhere to listen to it. You can pull it up on your phone, pull it up on the app. You can go to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, watch the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, and get you some free baseball and softball knowledge from one Nick Sainert. Nick, well, I'm going to let you take it away because you're feeling good.
Here's the thing, Rico. With this discussion, I hope wherever you go to buy your baseball equipment, call out the salesman. Like, do it.
Don't be afraid.
Like, do not be afraid. This is why I want to, because we could talk. We'll talk about steaming gloves, why it's bad. You can head over to the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream right now.
Look at that thing.
So a couple weeks ago, about 2 months ago, I announced that I customized a glove, a Heart of the Hide Rawlings glove for slow pitch softball, 12.5 inches. I posted some pictures on Twitter, Nick_Sainert, and I got it into the mail today. It shipped.
It's got a little Cubs logo. It's got his name on it. Look at that.
It's got my name, and then inside it's got I think this color was Carolina blue.
Gross. You know what you should have done? I don't know if it's possible. You should have got Nick Sainert, but the C should have been the Cubs C.
No, that would have been bad.
It would have been gorgeous.
It would have
looked terrible.
Because think about how big the logo is, and then my name also next to it.
Make it smaller.
So once again, slow pitch softball glove right here, 12.5 inches. Good stuff. So shout out to Rawlings for hooking us up with some customized gloves. All right, so
beautiful.
Let's talk about gloves. 402-464-5685. Craig says this: don't give a crap about baseball, but Nick's enthusiasm is good radio. Rant on, brother. Kidoba guy, I can very confidently say that I've never heard anyone speak so passionately about bats before. I love it. Gus says this: hey Nick, good convo about bats and the uneducated parents about equipment. We'll continue that one. So we'll talk about that once again. All right, really quickly, because there is some stuff to get to. Talking about gloves. Breaking it in, never steam a glove. It destroys the leather. No matter what people tell you, like obviously it's going to make the leather super flimsy, destroys the leather. Don't ever steam it. Don't ever put heat on it.
What do you mean by destroys the leather? What are we talking
about?
Well,
it
just makes it bad.
It moisture, like puts moisture into the leather.
Yeah.
And so it destroys the leather.
Yes.
Mark Onweiler. Come on, man. So I guess I'm going to be put on Sports Out of Context.
I hope Sports Out of Context was listening. It's a perfect quote.
12.5 inches. Good stuff. Thank you, Mark. I'm glad that you're listening intently to this. But so with that, don't ever steam it. Don't ever put moisturize or put moisture into the glove. When you get a new glove, which you don't have to buy an A2000, a $200 or $300 glove for a kid. You don't. Why? Because they're not going to take care of the glove. You never want it pancaked. You never want it to like stretch it out. You never want to like when they're not using it. Here's the biggest thing I always say. When you're not using it, put a ball in the pocket, put a hand towel, put a rubber band around it, and set it in your bag like that. Why? Because it leaves the shape of the glove and it's all good to go. So like, do not pancake it. Do not try to like bend it in certain ways that it's bad. Like it just destroys the leather. So, and once again, 9-year-olds do not need $300 gloves. Why? Because they're not going to take care of it. At the end of the day, you can preach and rag on them to take care of the glove and don't throw the glove, don't throw the equipment, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, they're not going to. As harsh it is to say and hear, they're not going to. A guy or a baseball or softball player does not need an A2000 until high school. Why? Because that's when they're able to take care of their own glove. That's when they're able to understand that I need to keep a pocket. It's not good to pancake. You can't just throw it in your bag. All that little stuff is crucial into, stretching out the life of your baseball or softball equipment. Okay. Wet blank or not. Gus says this one. I coached select fast pitch for years, and you'd be surprised about how many parents dropped big bucks on bats that weren't a good fit for their player. Too heavy, too long, too short, wrong drop, etc. Parents should ask their coaches before buying that big purchase. Now, about gloves, parents, quit buying the biggest glove out there, but the size of the glove that fits your player nicely, along with the style for the position your child plays. Again, ask around before the big purchase. These items are probably a $700 investment. Ouch. On top of that $700 investment as well, if you're playing select baseball or softball, you're looking at $1,200, $1,500 to play. So, like, and once again, this goes back to the $400 bats, or you don't need the composite bats as a 9-year-old player. It goes back to that whole, think about it in the long run, you're going to have to buy another bat next year and the following year and 2 years down the road. Like, it's over and over that you're going to have to drop $1,500. So if you can spend or save $300 in the bat department with a bat that's going to fit your player better. And once again, like I said, at that young age, it's all about confidence. And with a bigger barrel on like a Marucci F5 or a Rawlings, Velo, I want to say it's called. Once again, a little more on the cost-effective side, going to have the same purpose. Teach them skill, teach them the fundamentals, not that money will make you a better player, because at the end of the day, I can attest to this, it does not. It really does not. So good stuff there. All right, 402-464.
It was great.
5685. Any thoughts, Rico?
No, I got nothing. Like I said, I didn't play baseball. I don't know any of this, but I'm glad to get some free knowledge from you there. It's fantastic.
Once again, ask any questions. Twitter DMs are open. I got enough people in the baseball and softball world that if you have questions, I can answer them. So
he's got friends.
Hit me up on Twitter, Nick_Sainer, if you have any questions. All right. So
you still have 3 minutes of uninterrupted Cubs talk if you would like to take that.
Should we just take it now?
If you want to, that's your call. Or you can save it. You can bring in fellow Cubs fan Nathan.
I think I'll do that in the final segment.
Okay. In case anybody was wondering, we have a thing.
Yeah.
If Seiya Suzuki hits a home run, Nicholas gets 3 minutes of uninterrupted Cubs talk for every home run he hits. So he hit one over the weekend. I'm giving him his time.
A bomb on an off-speed pitch right down the heart of the plate. Took it left center. Bomb. Shohei 2.0. Cubs get him for 5 years until he goes and signs with the Angels to play with his hero, Mike Trout.
Yeah.
But it's okay because Seiya Suzuki's my hero. All right. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. Feel free to join us on the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Okay, so Husker football, Rico.
Yes.
We'll round out the first segment with this. How much are we going to take away from this spring game? Because going into it, it was, we can't take that much. And now here we are after it saying, okay, yeah, 55,000 fans is great, but what about the stuff that's on the field? In 100% honesty, on the field wasn't anything to write home about.
There was, in all honesty, for me at least, I'm not going to speak for everybody. For me, there was very little to take away from this spring game. There are some things you can take away from it, but all in all, it was very vanilla. They ran the ball a lot. That doesn't mean they're going to run the ball this season. Who knows? They could still pass the ball. They could just be saving all that. Again, not trying to give up any of their plays, not trying to get anything, all the new route concepts they're installing on tape. So again, you don't know there. Anthony Grant looked good on his one run, but he may have been touched in the backfield. He maybe would have been tackled later on down the field if they were tackling.
Yeah.
Jacquiant, it seemed as if he was wanting to run through people along with Ramir Johnson. They were wanting to run through people, but they played in the first half. It was two-hand touch. They get touched. They're running into a pile. They're trying to push their way through, but you're down. You get in that pile, you're down. So again, can't take anything away from that. And then the guys that played in the second half, I don't want to take anything away from them. They're playing at a Division I level. They're much more talented at football than I am. But for by and large, a decent amount of the guys who played in the second half, you may or may not see in a meaningful snap for Nebraska, at least this season. You may see some later on in their years in Nebraska, but at least this season, you may or may not see these guys play meaningful snaps for Nebraska. They're supremely talented. They're better athletes than I am. But that second half of the spring game, very few guys playing in that second half will see some snaps for Nebraska during the regular season.
All right, so Casey Thompson finishes 3 of 4, only threw 4 pass attempts, 31 yards. Let's see a couple other names. Smothers finishes 5 of 14, Chuba 5 of 10, Heinrich Harburg 4 of 7. That's the top 4 quarterbacks there. Running backs, Anthony Grant, 6 carries, 69 yards, 1 touchdown, had the 60-yard touchdown run. Out of those 69 yards, like you said, Rico. Couple other, Jacquiant, 11 carries, 29 yards. Ramir Johnson, 6 carries, 14 yards. Like, here's what I'll say. Ryan from Nashville says this. Hate to say it, but we may be in trouble this year. Didn't even know what to think about Saturday. The energy was good. I enjoyed seeing the kids have fun and making it competitive towards the end. But as far as the roster, yeesh. Ryan from Nashville.
I mean, there's not much you can take. Like, you can say the offensive line got some good pushes. They gave up a couple of sacks, but they also beat up the defensive line a couple of times. There were a few times where the offensive line opened up massive holes for running backs, but one person got through, tapped a person on the shoulder, and they were down. So, there were some good things from the offensive line. There were some good things from the defensive line. I don't know what to take away from it. I understand Garrett Nelson flashed, got 2 sacks, and everybody loved it. He was dipping his shoulder, getting around the tackle, but there were multiple times where Garrett Nelson got stonewalled. There are multiple times where the defensive line got stonewalled and the offensive line got really good push. And again, that's without two of probably your starters at the left tackle and right tackle position. So I don't know what to take away from.
Is that more of a defensive line thing or an offensive line thing?
I don't know, because both teams, they both showed good things and they both showed bad things. There were times where they filled the hole. There were times where Nash Hutmacher was impossible to move in the middle, and he swallowed up a hole, and they had to cut back and do something there. But there were times where he got moved and a massive hole opened in the middle. There were times where the offensive line, parted the defense like the Red Sea, and the quarterback was able to step up in the pocket and deliver a throw. There were times where the quarterback was getting pressured extremely hard from the left and the right side. So there were good things, there were bad things. There's really nothing that I can take away from this because of how many injuries there were and how little you got to see of some of those starters. There's very little I can take away from this, except for AJ Rollins, very athletic on I'm just talking about the one catch, not the fact that he had 4, just the one catch where it was the downfield throw from Chuba Purdy. He jumped up over both defenders, made the catch, slammed on the ground, held onto it. Fantastic catch from him. Maybe you see more of him during the regular season due to the fact that you've got a lot of injuries.
Maybe. I'm actually going to agree with Wet Blanket here on the text line. He says this. My take, Prohaska and Corcoran, better get healthy or Casey Thompson will be broken by October. I think I'm not gonna say that I take everything away from the spring game, because obviously we can't, and obviously there's a lot of reserves put in early on, and they're mixing up number 1s with 2s and number 2s with 3s and so on. But right out of the gate, I mean, Thompson had no time. And part of that's Garrett Nelson, but it goes back to the conversation that me and Rashawn were having last week. Like, I don't have confidence right now from what we've seen in years past that Nebraska has 5 offensive linemen that they put above and beyond everybody else in that room. And that's extremely worrisome, in my opinion. Now, time sort of on their side. They have the summer to figure it out. And there's going to be flashes. There's always flashes. But there's a chance that Nebraska is going to be facing a much better defensive line than Nebraska faced on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just the truth. Like Garrett Nelson is on pace to have a great year. Like
he's transformed his body.
Absolutely.
He's gotten better.
But at the end of the day, what happens when Nebraska faces a Garrett Nelson-esque defensive end and a much better defensive line, like as a group in the Big Ten Conference? Like there's situations here where the offensive line is concerning, not only for Casey Thompson's health, like we've seen it in years past. You can say whatever you want about Adrian Martinez when he's standing up and he's upright and fails to make the necessary passes. But you can also say that to an extent, there were a lot of times, whether it was last season or his 3 previous years, where Adrian Martinez had no time. I think I looked at the stats one time during the season last year, and he had been sacked over 30 times or 27 times every single year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like at that point, you can't expect your quarterback to be Superman. It goes back to what we said about Adrian Martinez. This team is better when the quarterback does not have to be Superman. Like that's the truth. Stop trying to make your quarterback be Superman and you'll be okay. And that all starts up front in the trenches with an offensive line, because it's going to help your running game. It's going to open up things within the passing game, and it's all going to work together.
With the running back talent that they have this year, it seems as if they're trying to take some pressure off of the quarterback's shoulders. They've got something that I did take away from this spring game is very capable backups. If Casey Thompson is named the starter, / at least for me, when Casey Thompson is named the starter, Chubba Purdy is better than I thought he was. And I'll be the first to admit that. I did not know how good he was going to be. I understand that, he went to Florida State. He's a Division I prospect. He was high 4-star, and Mark Whipple thought the world of him, wanted him at Pitt, and now he wanted him for Florida State and Nebraska, and now he got him. But to me, I was like, I don't see much in Chubba Purdy, and that spring game he was making, and we know that he was barely practicing because of an injury. So he comes in, and this is, probably less than double-digit practice for him at Nebraska.
Chubba.
So the throws he was making, the touch he was putting on the ball, and the zip he was putting on the ball was extremely impressive to me. And he's good. He's good. I like it. You have a capable backup. Nebraska shouldn't be scared if things go left to put Chubba Purdy in the game.
So have we hopped over Logan Smothers now?
Maybe.
Really?
I still love Logan. I still love Logan. I still think he's good, but Chubba Purdy looked fantastic. There were a couple of throws.
Like 10 plays?
Yeah. Look, he's got it. Look, he looked good.
Okay, great. Once again, we can always say the same thing. What does that mean more about your defense or your offense?
I don't know.
Because right now, I'm saying it's more about defense.
He was putting the ball in places where only the receivers could get to him. And that's not on the defense because the defense was playing great. That A.J. Rollins throw, the defense was all over him. Chubba Purdy put it up high. A.J. went up to get it.
I struggle to take, and I know I just said this whole thing about
that's why I said
line.
that's the one thing that I took away from it is he's better than I thought he was.
It's so hard for me to jump Logan. And maybe it's because what the staff has said about Logan, but I guess maybe their actions are speaking louder than their words. And that's what we all have to go off of right now. Let's continue this conversation after the break. We'll be right back. Send in your thoughts, 402-464-5685. What are we thinking on the spring game? How do we feel about quarterbacks, running backs, offensive line, all that good stuff? We'll be right back on the Happy Hour.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Join us at Cactus by Venue for our new America's Favorites menu. We're keeping your favorite dips and tacos and adding brand new dishes, including delicious steaks, burgers, pastas, and more. Focusing on vibrant casual dining using a blend of fresh ingredients prepared from scratch. Located at 56 and Highway 2 in the Edgewood Shopping Center, see the whole menu online at cactusbyvenue.com and order yours to go at venuedelivered.com. Cactus by Venue, America's favorites.
Hello, I'm Charlie Stone, back with the latest news from Honda of Lincoln. Joining me now is the general manager, Andy Goodyear. Hey, Andy, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Charlie.
Hey, Andy, with spring right around the corner, how is your supply of new Hondas and pre-owned vehicles?
Really good, Charlie. As I've said before, when you drive by our lot, you don't see what you're looking for, just remember we have hundreds of new Hondas arriving soon, with Honda continuing to offer 0.9% APR financing to qualified buyers. Plus, we have over 125 pre-owned vehicles in stock and ready for immediate delivery.
That's great, Andy. Any more great news?
There is, Charlie. Honda just announced financing from 0.99% APR on certified pre-owned Hondas for qualified buyers.
So come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
I have a proposal. You do not have to buy me a cap if we find the fight song I'm talking about and you hum it into the microphone.
What if I don't know how it goes?
Well, we'll find it. Yeah, that's it. Keep going. Good job, you found it.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says thank you to the people of the healthcare community for putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. That's 402-432-6740.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Have you ever wanted to build a catapult? Have you ever wanted to launch something other than water balloons with a water balloon launcher? Do you want to be a national champion? Then you need to get a team and sign up for the National Avocado Launching Championship, May 21st in North Platte. That's right, the National Avocado Launching Championship is taking place right here in Nebraska. Launch avocados for fame and glory. Sign up at avocadolaunching.com. That is avocadolaunching.com. And remember, the top prize is $5,000. Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary, sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Nick and Rico back with you on the Happy Hour 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick,
this is new.
Yeah, I made it over the weekend. Moves by Big Sean.
I don't hate it.
Not yet. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Once again, back on the Happy Hour, brought to you by Empire Fence and Netting. Appreciate them for all their support. Okay, so spring game stuff. I struggle. Let's dive into the quarterbacks here. Let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit because you liked Purdy.
I was impressed by
and I
Purdy.
will say this: I did not like any. Like, is that bad to say?
No, there wasn't much throwing.
Nothing nothing made me. I was standing on the sideline. I think it was Logan Smothers sent one into the crowd, or over the way over the head of an out route. Did not look necessarily that great, but also, like, I'm not taking Chubba Purdy's 5 of 10 and going, yeah, he's going to be good. Like, I don't know.
I'm not taking the percentage of the fact, he completed 50. I'm just taking a couple of the throws he made, and I was impressed by the touch that he had on him. The touch and the zip that he had on some of his throws, it was impressive to me. And again, I'm speaking from a place of a guy who was not impressed with him before. Like, I was not impressed with what Chubba Purdy had done.
Well, timeout. I mean, like, Chubba Purdy didn't play.
He had a couple snaps. You can go and find some of the snaps he had at Florida State.
Okay, so once again, like, it's a small sample size.
I know.
We have no idea what we're getting with Chubba. Just like similar right now, we could argue that we don't know what we're getting with Logan Smothers.
No.
Yes, Logan Smothers, what do we have to go off of for him?
The
Iowa game where Nebraska kept it extremely simple and bland on offense. And basically,
again, he ran more than he passed.
It was a heavy run kind of set for Nebraska. And then when Nebraska fell behind late, just, it's just the same thing as always. Like, I just, like, we don't even know. We don't even know what Logan Smothers is capable of. And that's like, after Casey Thompson, we have no idea what Nebraska's backups look like. Even Logan Smothers, and part of that is with the new offensive staff.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I'm gonna call a spade, and it's gonna be as black and white as I can make it. The staff hasn't developed jack.
They
hasn't developed anything.
The quarterback spot, you're right.
Like, at the quarterback spot,
Adrian stayed around the same he was from his freshman year until he decided to transfer to Kansas State. You've had Logan Smothers for 3-4 years, and he's still a backup with very limited experience. So, and the other quarterbacks that they've had that have ended up transferring out, Noah Vedral and Luke McCaffrey, what have you. But I don't know, man. I like Casey Thompson. Obviously, I still think he's going to be the starter whenever they decide to formally announce that. And I think you've got a good thing going with Chubba Purdy and with Logan Smothers. I think that they can do something with him. We've seen his athleticism. We've seen what he's able to do. He can lead this team. He got unlucky, and Nebraska kind of fell onto its own sword again against Iowa with him at quarterback. But with Mark Whipple, with the development that he's shown with past quarterbacks that he's worked with, I'm not saying it's going to be the exact same here, but the development that he's been able to show being a quarterback's coach would lead one to hope that he can do the same here with a Power 5 level starting quarterback in Casey Thompson and 2 Power 5 backup quarterbacks in Logan Smothers and Chubba Purdy.
I'm trying to figure out a way to and 402-464-5685 Honda Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line, both them open for you. We'd love to take your calls all the rest of the show, and I'm sure Bach and Nate and Strick will have a lot of this as well. When we look up and down the quarterback room, it's a place once again where we sit here on April 11th and go, yeah, there's promise, there's potential. But when we look at past seasons under Scott Frost, and specifically on the offensive side, what have we said on April 11th of every season? Oh, there's potential.
Adrian Martinez can take that next step.
This is the season that he takes that next step. This is the season that Nebraska has 2 guys rush for over 500 yards that's not named quarterback. Like, it's once again, like what I saw on Saturday, same story, with a different jersey on.
Again, I'm not saying that you take, that you have the next star quarterbacks on your roster away from this. I'm not saying that you have the next 1,000-yard rusher on your roster. But what I am saying is I believe that they have a capable quarterback and a capable backup. And I like the running back room, at least the first 3.
Yeah,
I'm not,
okay,
and
so-
I'm not taking a lot away from it. I'm just saying that just watching them run and watching them actually read and hit holes before getting, touched on the shoulder pads was promising. I liked it.
I will say this, and I said this Friday or Saturday on the pregame show. I think it was my segment with Nathan. I said something along the lines of like, this staff has done everything. This program, maybe it's better to say it that way. This program has done everything that this fan base has asked. Going out and get a transfer quarterback with experience, going out and getting an experienced offensive coordinator, going out and filling the special teams void, and going out and restructuring Coach Frost's contract. Like, as a program and as an athletic director, Trev Alberts in Nebraska football has done what Nebraska fans have asked them to. But at the end of the day, you could argue that they do that every season. Like, stepping back, like, think about it. Like, they go out and get, okay, like, yes, like this season, yes, they went out and hired an associate head coach in Mickey Joseph, who's a former player and has proven experience. Like, there's reason to be excited about that. But everything that we said, like in the first couple seasons of with Scott Frost saying, oh yeah, look what he did with Marcus Mariota, and Adrian Martinez is the next Marcus Mariota. And look what he did with Mackenzie Milton down there. And what, like, you could argue that Sean Becton, and this is a big reason why he's obviously still here, has been the only coach on the offensive side of the ball to ever do his job successfully. Am I wrong? Like, obviously they let go of guys, and so that's a big thing.
Yeah.
So they made the necessary movements. But if you think about it, going into every season, tight end is one of the rooms that's set up the best, and that there's not so many question marks. Now, part of that's been Austin Allen and Travis Vokalek being kind of the mainstays of that. But
another part of that is that they're very rarely used.
So then we have to ask the question: who's
so you can't? I mean, you can't tell if he's. I mean, obviously you can, because one of them is going to get drafted this season, hopefully. Yeah. But you can't really tell how well they're being developed because you rarely see them make any plays.
That's a good point. I would,
and I'm not going to argue against Sean Becton. I think he's a fantastic tight ends coach. But the difference between this season and previous seasons is, instead of taking a Band-Aid, firing one coach and bringing in somebody, instead of putting a Band-Aid on this massive gash that you have, it seems as if they finally stitched it up. Mm-hmm. You hope it doesn't reopen during the season. But they took the massive gash that they have on their leg, and they finally decided to put some antiseptic in it and stitch it closed. Will it stay closed? Will they, change the Band-Aids on it and keep it clean? I don't know. But right now, the cut is sealed, and you can look towards the future and think maybe we can walk on this again.
This is an interesting take. Ryan from Nashville adds, you cannot win with mediocre players. Everyone's worried about the coaches, and I understand that, but we do not get these stud athletes like other schools. Nebraska is in serious trouble of never rebuilding again to teams similar to what we once had. The players are just not good enough. So let's dive into that conversation, because I wanted to get to this eventually. Dylan Raiola, obviously number one overall prospect, 2024 class, number one prospect overall. With that, the number one quarterback, the top quarterback. Obviously, there's that legacy recruit angle that with Nebraska. And I mentioned this on Saturday. This weekend, despite knowing that you're not going to get a commitment with recruits nowadays, and especially with recruits the caliber of Dylan Raiola, Nebraska needs to lay the groundwork. Build the foundation. Nebraska, over and over again, has learned, and once again, like death by a million paper cuts or whatever the saying is, they cannot come in late to recruiting battles, whether they're guys from Nebraska or whether they're guys from out of state. And Dylan Raiola, no matter the legacy recruit angle you want to play it, he is out of state, and he is being offered by every single school. Dabo Swinney, Kirby Smart, Nick Saban are calling Dylan Raiola every day saying, this is why you should play at insert school here.
Whatever school.
Insert name here. Like, there's reason. And this weekend, Raiola's family knows about Nebraska. Obviously, Donovan's the head coach. You had Dylan's dad play here, who's a Hall of Famer. You had Dylan Raiola now, who understands how important and how valuable and huge Nebraska football means for not only the fans here in the state, but also to their family. Here's what I'll say. you need Scott Frost had to sit down Dylan Raiola this weekend and explain to him and sell Nebraska, because the truth is Nebraska has not sold itself in the last 4 years, and going back the last 7 with Mike Riley. Like that's the truth. And if you're Dylan Raiola, you're not recruiting Dylan Raiola's family. You're recruiting Dylan Raiola. At the end of the day, Dylan Raiola needs to be sold on his spot in Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Nebraska might have a little bit of an advantage with everything, and that's great. But Nebraska's also had that quote-unquote advantage before and blown it. And we've seen that. Whether it's guys from Omaha, we can talk about the pipeline with Bellevue West that has failed to
materialize.
Yeah, come to Nebraska. You can talk about guys that want to come to Nebraska that just never get looks, and then they go to North Dakota State, they go to
Ohio,
they excel at a smaller level. Like at the end of the day,
Wyoming,
Nebraska needs to lay the groundwork with a guy like Dylan Raiola, and I'd say, all right, listen, we're going to put the time, because once again, kids need to feel wanted nowadays. It's not like in the 90s, Nebraska, when they were winning games,
it was an easy sell.
You didn't well, no, it's not even that. It's like you're not competing against anybody else. Like it's Nebraska at the time, like, and a couple other like Nebraska, Miami, whoever else you want to throw in there, top programs in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska didn't have to like beat Alabama out. Now Nebraska is like you just have to compete for top recruits with a lot more other programs. And it's a lot tougher than it used to be. And that's why recruiting is just so hit or miss nowadays. All right, let's go to the Honda Lincoln Hotline. We're joined by Chris. Chris, what's up? Happy Monday, man. Chris?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Hey,
oh, hey,
Chris, how's it going? Hello? Can you hear?
Craig, not Craig.
Oh,
hey,
sorry.
Craig.
Sorry, Craig. We wrote Chris on the board. I'm sorry about that, Craig. How's your Monday
no
going?
Problem. I was just going to say, I was wondering if you guys could touch base on trying to convince Dylan Raiola to play for a underperforming offensive line with the last 4 or 5 years and unproven wide receivers for the last 4 or 5
Yeah.
years. You know, you always have one good wide receiver, maybe one good lineman, but it might be a tough sell to get that good of a quarterback to play around.
Yeah.
Not the best of surrounding talent, but good luck. GBR boys.
Yeah, that's a really good question, Craig. So I will say this, in regards to the offensive line, maybe he's a little more comfortable because Donovan is here. It is the coach currently.
Mm-hmm.
So you have that. You also have Mickey Joseph, who it still carries like the name. Like we talk about it with Nebraska basketball, Fred Hoiberg still carrying the weight with his name. Mickey Joseph does that same thing now for Nebraska's wide receiver. But like, that's exactly what I was saying just a couple minutes ago, is Scott Frost, and you can throw Donovan and you can throw Mickey Joseph into that. They had to sit down Dylan Raiola and be like, listen, this is what we're going to do for you. Like at this point, Nebraska does not have the luxury of saying, with these top like players in the country and with their track record of not being able to develop guys. And by there, I mean Scott Frost at Nebraska, not being able to develop a guy consistently. They had to sit him down and go, listen, this is what we're going to do for you. They don't have the luxury, unfortunately, as tough as it is to say as Husker fans, Nebraska doesn't have the luxury of saying, well, listen, if you don't want to join us, we'll be good without you.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't have that. No matter how bad you want to believe it, I'm sorry, but they don't. They're not able to go into Dylan Raiola and be like, listen, we don't it'd be great if you came, but at the end of the day, we don't need you. Like they will not do that. They can't. They don't have the luxury of that. And
this isn't an offer from Nebraska right now is not time sensitive. It's not, if you don't commit within a couple of days, somebody better is going to take your spot.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. 402-464-5685. Interesting conversation here. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back, wrap up Monday's show. Get your final thoughts in spring game. We might touch Husker baseball, softball. Any thoughts that you may have, hit us up on Twitter, Nick_Sainer, and at Radio Rico AC. We'll wrap up Monday's show coming up next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric ensures our home and office HVAC systems run smoothly throughout the year to provide maximum comfort and convenience. Routine maintenance reduced our operating costs just by improving the efficiency of our unit. Consider a maintenance agreement to ensure you too receive priority for services and scheduling. This helps meet manufacturer warranty requirements. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Fruitcakes are just for Christmas, right? Gosh, I feel sorry for you. I mean, what if we had done that with bacon? Bacon is only for breakfast. We'd never have bacon cheeseburgers. We'd never be able to save a salad by adding bacon bits. We'd never have Brinner. That's breakfast for dinner. Don't limit yourself. Fruitcakes for St. Patrick's Day. Fruitcakes for graduation. Fruitcakes for Thursday. Beatrice Bakery and Grandma's Fruitcakes are perfect for every occasion. Check them out in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum. Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Join us at Cactus by Venue for our new America's Favorites menu. We're keeping your favorite dips and tacos and adding brand new dishes, including delicious steaks, burgers, pastas, and more. Focusing on vibrant casual dining using a blend of fresh ingredients prepared from scratch. Located at 56 and Highway 2 in the Edgewood Shopping Center, see the whole menu online at cactusbyvenue.com and order yours to go at venuedelivered.com. Cactus by Venue, America's Favorites.
Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
You're listening to the Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary, sponsored by Empire Fence and Netting on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, Nick and Rico back with you on the happy hour, wrapping up Monday's show. Sorry if you guys are tired of hearing my voice. We've been on since about noon, so I apologize. I know a lot of baseball talk in there, a lot of don't buy a $400 bat for your 8-year-old kid, please.
Dude, me and you have owned the airwaves today. I was
We
on from
have.
8 to noon. You were on from noon to now.
I apologize.
So-
Hey, I haven't introduced you. Wait, we bring in Nathan. What's up?
What is the age that it is acceptable to buy a $400 bat? 'Cause
High
when I
school.
was 12, I think 12 is the cutoff because I don't
Really?
know if Little League is big around here.
Yeah,
But
it
when
is.
I was 12 years old, Little League was huge.
Yeah.
And if you were going to the Little League World Series or he's playing on the All-Star team, you had to have a nice bet. You had to have some swag.
Okay, so that
12 is the cutoff.
You didn't have to.
That's my exact problem.
Yep, there we go.
Right
You're
here.
going to get him back into it. This was not supposed to be this again.
You do
Look,
not.
just because I was the best player on the team when I was 12 and you're mad that you weren't, doesn't mean that you got to come at me having the Omen. The Omen was nice.
Actually.
The Omen was awesome. If you guys remember the Omen,
Actually,
it was
I
OP.
was.
Just because you were the best player on your 12 and under
I had a
team
good-
doesn't mean
You know,
Hey, I got a nice bet.
You know why you were the best player on your 12 and under team?
'Cause I was
Because
bigger
you were
than everyone.
12, you were bigger than everyone, and you actually knew the fundamentals of the game.
And I had the Omen. The
No.
Omen was nice. And before that, it was the Stealth. And they had
Stealth
to
was
ban it.
nice.
They had to
Stealth
ban
was
it from
nice.
Little League.
Stealth was nice.
That's when
Oh,
they changed.
shout out to
the ways that
Rosenblatt.
They made the
Yeah, I
bats
love
'cause
Rosenblatt.
kids were getting
BB
hurt.
core, BB core, and all that.
The BB core, and then they moved the fields back to 225 feet.
That's
You guys
right.
Remember that?
That's right. Okay, so once again, I got a custom glove. Go Cubs, go. We have to do these 3 minutes of. Okay, so wait, actually, you asked the cutoff. So I say 12, maybe if not high school. Because here's the deal. And I'll say this again. So like with 2-piece composite bats, they have the multiple walls inside the barrel, and to get it at its peak performance or the most pop out of that composite bat, you have to break the walls. When you're 8 or 9 years old, because it eventually works like a trampoline. That's how a composite bat works. When you're 8 or 9 years old, you're not hitting the baseball hard enough to break those walls. And then bam, your kid's 9 years old, a year.
Speak
Hold
for
on.
yourself.
Hold on. Stop, Nathan. Yeah, trust me.
I love this.
Anyway, when then
Man, I wish I
then,
played
then
baseball.
bam,
Baseball's awesome.
your kid is 9 years old and he needs a new bat, saying, "Dad, I need a new bat." Well, we just bought you one last year, son, for $400. Yeah, but it's too small. Like, yes. So go buy the $110 Marucci F5. That's extremely balanced, extremely lightweight, has a bigger barrel than most bats. It's all about confidence at age. Somebody tweeted at me just a couple minutes ago. Birdman on Twitter said this. He tagged me, Nick_Sainer, 7-year-old son in second year of baseball, probably 4'5", 4'6". I was thinking a 30-inch bat, drop 10. I said for sure drop 10. Absolutely a drop 10. What I also will say, in all honesty, like the length is hard to tell with kids because
They grow so quick.
well, they grow so quickly, number one, and it's also, do you want the bat to last? Try and get it to last 2 years. You can do like the whole set it next to your hip thing and see if it like lines up with your hip. Like, sure, like I guess
Whatever's
so.
most comfortable,
But
I
it's
feel
all
like,
about
yeah.
confidence.
Yeah.
Like it's all about confidence. So if you can find a place like Shields has it, I know D-Bat, we offer some demo bats. Like you can try and get the right fit. Like I know Shields has the batting cage you can go in, and that stuff is great. Take advantage of that, especially when it's free, because you're able to go and hit the bats, and you're not spending $400 and then you get out to the practice field and your kid's like, or the coach is like, "Hey, yeah, it's too short," or the kid's like hitting off the knob of the bat or on the handle of the bat because it's too long.
Or if you want to be a real baller, only playing wood bat leagues.
That's a good point. Well, see, okay,
That was awesome.
See, that gets me onto a whole nother thing because like tee work is boring. It is, but that's the best place for young kids to swing. Like, please, and this is bad because D-Bat has pitching machines, but like, stop using pitching machines. Like, stop trying
Soft
to
toss.
like forward toss. But make sure they can hit off of a tee first before you try to introduce a live ball. Because if they can't hit off of a tee fundamentally sound, then it's going to go out and you're going to compromise all the things that you just tried to teach them on tee work without developing a routine or a habit. And they're just going to throw everything off to the side when you introduce a live ball. Like there's little things that you have to do where like tee work is boring. It absolutely is. But it is what it is. All right. So Joe says this on the text line. I beg to differ, Nick. I took a foul ball to the face mask Saturday off an 8-year-old. Pretty sure I have a concussion. LOL. Well,
some of those 8-year-olds can hit, man.
Like I said, you were saying that, and I was like, unless you're a prodigy,
Yeah,
then I
like, yeah,
do whatever
like,
you want.
maybe
Not you.
you're right.
Not
Maybe
you.
you're right.
Get your you have very little time. Get your Cubs talk in.
All right. So Cubs. How are you
Seiya
feeling?
Suzuki
Say a
MVP.
Suzuki MVP next. Shohei Ohtani.
Classic Cubs. Their bullpen is absolutely atrocious. So
Yep.
it's going to keep them out of the playoffs.
Okay. There you go.
Their bullpen's awful. Their bullpen is terrible. It has been terrible since the World Series team. I don't even know who their closer is. They brought him in the other day. I was like, who the heck is this guy?
You know who their starting pitchers are, though? Dude, good.
Cal
good.
Hendricks, Greg Stroman.
Marcus Stroman,
Marcus
yeah.
Stroman, excuse me.
Greg
Greg Stroman went to Virginia Tech.
Oh, my God.
Virginia Tech cornerback
Stop
who
talking-
played for the football team.
Stop talking about Greg Stroman.
Formerly known as the football team. Excuse me, the Commanders.
So here's the thing, though. Cubs, Seiya Suzuki belted the ball to left
Oh,
center.
yeah.
It was great. Then Kyle Hendricks had a good day on Friday.
see how long
Marcus
that lasts.
Stroman had a good day Sunday. 6 innings, allowed a solo
Bullpen blew
shot.
it. Yeah.
Bullpen blew it. Like it's gonna be okay. Along the line, like we're just
They
fine.
have a sneaky good offense.
They do.
Sneaky good offense.
They do. I
Bunch
like
of young guys.
They just can't trade Wilson Contreras.
Yeah, it'll happen.
They cannot trade Wilson Contreras.
Because closer is Rick Vaughn. I wish it was Rick Vaughn. They'd be better.
I was playing against Rob Dibble in the show yesterday. And I was like, man, how great would the Cubs be if they had Rob Dibble as the closer? They just need to.
David Ross. Yes
Nathan,
or no?
no.
Yeah, I'm probably.
Nathan, we played slow pitch softball yesterday. How are
I
you feeling?
know. Honestly, that fly ball is haunting me.
Oh no!
'Cause it was on the transfer because I knew the guy was going to try and go from second to third. So I
Yeah.
was like, all right, I got to make this quick. And I had a glove that was built for like third base.
Hey, it was an A900. It was my glove.
It's a nice glove, but it's not big enough for the outfield.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. So, all right. Yeah, we lost on a walk-off.
We did.
That's right. We're back out 4:15 p.m. Sunday. Mahoney. We need the fans
Be
to
there.
show up. Fan support.
Be there.
Clap us on. All right, Rico. We're done for today, man.
Clap for you guys.
There's
your Cubs talk.
Have a great rest of your day, guys. We will talk to you tomorrow. See ya.
Adios.